Ladies and gentlemen, I believe most of you right now, you know that there was a disagreement between Gachagua and of course his deputy, Cleophas Malala.
Juzi, mumeona tulikuwa na shida kidogo. Wakati the United Opposition ilikuwa inachagua secretariat, yani yule mtu ambaye anakuwa msemaji. Na wale viongozi wetu, the principals, wakachagua Muhisa Kitui, yule ambaye alikuwa former MP wa Kibiriri, mzee aongoze akuwe msemaji. Mimi kibinafsi nikasema hapana, hii nafasi ya Muhisa ni lazima wapatie kijana, kwa sababu vijana ndio inafaa waweke moto katika, so tutakuwa na utofauti ya mawazo.
And that is what I want to highlight here on this particular video.
Na pale kwa secretariat juzi tumeamua ya kwamba tumeweka Dr. Mukisa Kitui hapo atusaidie. Na huyu deputy wangu kijana anaitwa Malala. Kijana shupafu, ananisaidia sana na ni kijana mzuri. Lakini niliona alikuwa na wasiwasi ati imewekwa mzee inatakikana vijana tupu. Hapana, pale secretariat yetu tuko na majenzi na millennial ndio wanasukuma kazi hapo kwa secretariat. Na wanapanga kazi nzuri sana. Na tuko na imani na vijana, majenzi na millennial. Lakini lazima tutafute mtu mmoja iko na experience ya kuwa guide na kumenta house. Iko namna hiyo.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin by taking you through the history of Cleophas Malala. He became a one-term member of the County Assembly of Kakamega under the ODM ticket. He became a one-term senator of Kakamega County. He went for the first time in 2022 to vie as the governor of Kakamega County. Of course, he was defeated. Ladies and gentlemen, immediately after that, Cleophas Malala became the Secretary General of the UDA party. As if that was not enough, William Ruto also elevated him to sit in the cabinet, in that as they are making decisions in the cabinet, Cleophas Malala is by their side, listening and following everything step by step. Up to that point, William Ruto has a strong connection with Cleophas Malala and trusting him as a Secretary General to sit in the cabinet. That is huge. So therefore, these two people, first of all, before Gachagua's impeachment, they were very, very close. Now, Cleophas Malala, he has also been to various parties. He has been the ODM when MCA. He has been a senator under ANC, and has also been a governor aspirant under UDA. That is a clear indication that he's not a person who sticks to a party for a long time. He's not like Babu Wino. He's not like other leaders. This Cleophas Malala will always jump ship based on the interests. Let me first admit before I continue that I wanted one time to do a video here to tell Gachagua that yes, Cleophas Malala is a good campaigner. He's very vibrant and vocal. But he should not bank on him 100% because of his nature of politics. Let me give you a brief history. When William Ruto wanted to dismantle the ANC party, he used Cleophas Malala. First, they brought in Musalia Mudavadi. After bringing in Musalia Mudavadi, Cleophas Malala started dismantling the ANC party. And eventually it was dismantled, and actually the officials of the ANC party, plus also Musalia Mudavadi, all of them joined UDA. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a plan that was laid down by Cleophas Malala. Now, as we speak today, we all know that Ford Kenya exists. But most of you, I think you know that he also made an attempt to go for the Ford Kenya party when he was a Secretary General of the UDA party. But I think Moses Wetangula managed to control that kind of a narrative and eventually survived to be hold of that party, that's the Ford Kenya party. But still, we know that it was the agenda of Cleophas Malala to dismantle that party and allow UDA to be the sole party that is in government. Ladies and gentlemen, without thinking too much, you can tell that Cleophas Malala, up to that point, is not a straightforward leader. Up to that point, he can be used to do dirty game. Up to that point. Now look at this. He's now in the DCP party. And no, the DCP party, it's led by Gachagua, not Cleophas Malala. And in a scenario where decisions are made, the person to give the last signature, it is Gachagua. So the opposition people come together, they go sit somewhere, they agree that Mukisa Kitui is now going to be the spokesperson and the head of the secretariat within the united opposition. After they have agreed, everyone posted. From nowhere, Cleophas Malala comes out and says they do not agree completely. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a bit disappointing. Why? He was speaking as who? Because once his party leader has already given an okay, then what was the business of Cleophas Malala coming out to speak against what even his party leader has also agreed with? That is showing that, in simple terms, those are equals, not partners, not that there's a hierarchy, but they are equals. And when he was giving this statement, it was not verbal, it was written, giving reasons as to why Mukisa Kitui is not the best candidate, regardless of Gachagua's opinion. That shows very well that Cleophas Malala, to some extent, he feels very superior within the DCP party. As if that is not enough. For those who are keen, when you listen to Cleophas Malala speak in Malava when he's doing his campaigns, he is saying that his party is the DCP party. And it must, mark the words, must be at the ballot for the by-election seat. But from the contemporary understanding, the DAP party, whose entire leadership is from Western Kenya, and they are part of the coalition of the united opposition, then they should be given the priority for that region. Because it cannot be ideal for DAP party to field a candidate in Nyeri. Yet the DCP party is the dominant party there, and they're in the same team. It is not ideal. But Cleophas Malala has been very adamant, speaking against the decision for the DCP party of party candidate stepping down for the DAP party, that is, I think, Seth Panyako. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a clear indication that Cleophas Malala is ready for something. And that is war within the opposition. When the parties are talking, he disagrees. When the leaders are talking, he disagrees. That's a clear indication that Cleophas Malala is ready for a battle. Which type of a battle is this that he wants to battle? That is just a chaotic environment within the opposition. And what does that mean? It creates a perception that the opposition is disintegrated and they're weak. Because this kind of an attitude that Cleophas Malala is showing, to honestly say it here, it is not possible that it is a kind of attitude that Kenyans want from the opposition side. So therefore, I feel is a man in a mission. Let me remind you this. There are allegations that have come out that this gentleman, William Ruto, built for him a house. They funded his gubernatorial aspirant contest for Kakamega County. And this guy, indeed, he was later on given a better office of being a Secretary General of the ruling party and also given a chance to sit in the cabinet. When the cabinet is sitting, he's also part of it. I don't know whether it was to ensure the agenda has been done or to understand how government is run. But the fact remains that he was sitting at that office, was far much elevated by President William Ruto. It's not possible that he can just from nowhere be left out by President William Ruto. William Ruto pick someone else just like that. Because right now we can't even feel whether Omar Hassan is a Secretary General. But Cleophas Malala's time was very effective. And there was no clear reason as to why he was even dismissed from the party. But the fact remains, as I speak today, Cleophas Malala was trusted heavily by President William Ruto. I am having a bad feeling about Cleophas Malala. If there will be no change, then it will be the reason as to why there will be a fall for the opposition, especially the party DCP. Therefore, my observations urge regarding Gachagua to do not bank on him 100%. I don't know what is your take, my viewers, but in the comment section you can share with me what you've been able to observe from Cleophas Malala's operations. Despite coming out to speak that they have forgiven each other, everything is now settled, what has been settled? Are there issues that were raised settled? No. He said the youth is supposed to be there. Is there any youth so far who has been given that position? No. See you in the comment section. My name is Abel Mukwa. Please make sure that you subscribe.